Something else that I found by turning around is the rear steer in this really helps out quite a bit with the turning radius. Like, this is a big car, so having that rear steer really helps out. So we got no one behind us. This is our test road, I guess. Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, I'm going to be going over the all-new Mercedes-Benz S580. Before we get into this video though, a huge shout out and thank you to the Mercedes-Benz in Farmington, Utah for giving me some time with this S580. This one is available for sale. They also have a few S500s available if you, for some reason, don't want the V8 powertrain. If you have any questions or need any help, just ask for Sam. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. Under the hood, we have a twin-turbo 4-liter V8 that goes through a 9-speed automatic transmission. It's also paired to a mild hybrid system. Fuel economy 16 around town and then 25 on the highway, with power outputs being 495 horsepower and then 516 pound-feet of torque. Now, before we go over the front end, I do want to mention, if you see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. Starting off with the hood, first off, this color is called Kalahari Gold, and it looks pretty baller for an S-Class. You guys can see you've got the hood ornament there, and then we do have some distinctive lines. And then coming down below, we've got the distinctive daytime running lights that come with the S-Class, and then the LED headlights as well. We do have the sensors there in the center of the grille that kind of match everything that's happening. There is a camera integrated into that whole setup as well. And then I like how the grille's blacked out, but then you have like chrome accenting around. I think that looks really good. And then we do have parking sensors on the front end. And then putting it all together, I mean, this thing looks really cool in gold. Coming around the side here, our tire wheel setup is 255, 35, 21 in the front, and then 285, 30, 21 in the rear. And as you can see, this has the snow edition package. It's where it just snowed a ton last night, and so yeah, there's a little bit of snow on the wheels, but you guys can at least still see like the silver there on the outside, and then you got the Mercedes-Benz logo in the center. And before any of you complain, here's what the wheel looks like without any snow in it. And then when we look at the full side profile here, those wheels really pop. We've got that chrome accenting there at the bottom. And again, especially with the sunlight hitting this color, this gold looks so cool. So here's our key fob. We have the Mercedes logo there at the top. We've got our unlock function, and then we have the opening for the trunk. Now, since the S-Class is a big, luxurious cruiser, it has a ton of storage space here in the trunk. I mean, look how massive this trunk is. And you can lift up the loading floor for even more storage space. Sorry, booklets. And when you're all done, just press this button right here and it'll lower the trunk right back down. Now here's a quick look at the taillights. You can see really cool with the turn signal how it's sequential. And then we've got all of our badges here on the back. And then you can see down below with the parking sensors. And then look at the covers over the exhaust tips and then the diffuser. And then the last thing that I want to mention here is you guys can see that low profile spoiler there on the back. And let me know what you guys think about this color, but I think this really fits the S-Class very well. That's the keyless entry. And this is where the magic begins. So you guys can see we've got these sunshades here in the rear, and then look at the leather trim here at the top, and look at the stitching design down below, and then we have more really nice leather trim down below that. And then I actually like to look at the door handle. We've got our power adjustments here for the rear seats. We have heated and cooled memory seats here for the rear passengers. And then we have all of our window controls, sunshade controls, all that. And just, yeah, look at the finish here on the door panels. Beautiful. And then look at these seats. You got the pillows there on the headrests, and then notice the perforated leather there in the center. Again, really nice design. And then when it comes to space back here, it is absolutely fantastic. Like tons and tons of legroom. It's pretty crazy. And then I get this little like storage pocket here in the seat, and then you got some vents here for us in the rear, and then got some more storage down below, and then right there you can see more storage. And then headroom's also really good. And then take a look at this with the whole center console setup. I love how it's elegant with it popping down, but yeah, solid storage space. And then again, just like fit and finish on everything is really nice. And then it looks like we do have like a pass-through right there, which is pretty cool, but yeah, nice setup. Keyless entry again. Now here is the front door panel. You guys can see again with the leather here at the top, and then look at the design down below with all the stitching, and then the leather where you're going to rest your arm. And same setup as what you have in the rear with the memory seats, the adjustments for the seats, and then the heated and cooled function. And then I actually can control the passenger seat here from the driver's seat. And we've got all of our window controls, mirror adjustments. The mirrors do power fold in, and they've got blind spot monitoring. And yeah, oh, also light control right there. You can see it's on the door panel, which is interesting. And yes, the front seats also have the pillowy headrests, and then you guys can see here with the design, just like the rear, beautiful seats and extremely comfortable. Really fancy looking pedals right there. And then we have like our parking brake right here. And then you guys can see you've got your adjustment for the steering wheel, and then you have the heated steering wheel function too. So here is the steering wheel, really nice leather trim all around. You can see the stitching down the center matches. We've got paddle shifters here on the back for that 9-speed automatic. Some controls here for the infotainment system, volume, phone controls, voice command controls as well. And then look at like the stitching and leather around the airbag cover. And then this does have adaptive cruise control as well as steering assist. And then we've got controls there for the center stack. Turn signal, stock, and then we have our column shifter. Now, just like other modern Mercedes-Benz models, you got this full digital gauge cluster here, which looks fantastic, and it basically functions as like a second infotainment system. But what's also cool is like all the different things you can do. So for example, I can make it be a giant navigation screen, and then you guys also saw how I can change how it actually appears. So for example, if I want to have like the sport design, I can completely change the gauge cluster. Now, when it comes to the camera system here at the S-Class, it's the 360 camera system. You can see you've got trajectory lines that turn with the steering wheel. You also have that bird's eye view as well. And then we can do this like exterior shot with it too. So like parking this is not gonna be an issue. And it's great that it has this camera system because again, it is a pretty large sized car. Now, as for the rest of the infotainment system, again, I can control this via a little keypad if I want, or I can just use the touchscreen functionality. And the touchscreen functionality is great because it's very responsive. Now, going in the comfort tab is the thing you want to do because you've got massaging seats, and this is also where you can customize the cool ambient lighting that you get with the S-Class. And so overall, easy to use infotainment system, and I'm glad that they've got the climate controls here at the bottom so that it's like easy to access that if I want to adjust anything with that system. And then of course we've got drive mode. So we have an Eco, we've got a Comfort, which is probably to drive it most of the time, and then yes, we have a Sport and a Sport Plus, and then we have an Individual where you can basically set it, and you guys can see what it's set at right now. So it's basically a second comfort mode right now until someone customizes it. And then these are basically just shortcut buttons down below, and like for the volume control, you can actually slide your finger or you can press the button, which I think is pretty cool. Before we move further down, I love the vents here in the center. Like look at the design there, and then you guys can see the ambient lighting here. And then look at the leather trim, and then like across the dash with the wood. I mean, just beautiful interior. So we have this really nice trim piece that covers up the wireless phone charging pad. We got some storage space right here, some cup holders, some USBs, and then in front of that we have the center console, tons of storage space in here, and then you guys saw the nice leather trim on top of this. And yes, we do in fact have a glove box, which is lined with felt, and yeah, storage space is great. And the outside of the glove box, by the way, more leather. And then up top here, the mirror looks really nice. And then we have this little slider here for the sunroof situation. So we have a sunroof here in the front, and then we have a secondary sunroof there in the back. So lots of sunroof action. So here's the window sticker for this S580. You guys can see the standard features right here. And then there's the base MSRP for the 2023 model year. And again, this is the Kalahari Gold, so $1,750 for this paint job. But anyways, there's all the options on this particular one. So your total MSRP is $140,310. And let's see how comfy it is. Let's talk about visibility before we set off. Here's your visibility over the hood. Both the mirrors just do it, blind spot monitoring. And throughout the rest of the rear. And let's set off. So setting off in the S-Class, and if you guys have been following the channel for a minute, then you know that I actually had the chance to live with one of these for a week. It was just the 2022 version of this, but the S-Class that I had as a demo for a week wasn't as optioned out as this. This has like all the backseat stuff, whereas the S-Class that I had was more of like a baseline car when it comes to the backseat stuff. So I think that's really cool that you get those features. But what I will say is, other than that, I mean, this drives the same. So it still has the air suspension, and it's so comfortable. Like that suspension that Mercedes has thrown into this, just like, it's so perfect. Like going over like this stuff in any other car, you're gonna actually like feel what's happening, whereas in this S-Class, like nothing. Like, okay, I'm going over this little like snow pile here, I don't even feel it. Like in any other car, you're gonna get like little bumps and everything, and nothing. Like it doesn't come through at all. It's crazy. It's such a comfortable car, and the seats are so comfortable. I'm gonna pop it into the Sport Plus mode because we'll get an acceleration in a second. But like, I really want to emphasize, like, this suspension still to this day, I don't think there's anything that truly like beats it, unless I haven't driven a Rolls Royce, so maybe a Rolls Royce is better than this, but yeah. Now, something else that I found by turning around is the rear steer in this really helps out quite a bit with the turning radius. Like, this is a big car, so having that rear steer really helps out. So we got no one behind us. This is our test road, I guess. Lost traction a little bit, but man, this V8 hauls. So I remember this from when I had it for a week. This V8 is so fun. So compared to the 6-cylinder, and again, I don't feel this crunching over the snow. It's so crazy to me. Suspension's so well built. So comparing this to the 6-cylinder, this obviously isn't quite as economical, but this is a big enough car where a V8 isn't really going to be that much worse off compared to fuel economy. When it comes to driving though, this V8 punches so hard, and the thing is, it keeps going. Like, I'm not saying that I did this, but I'm saying hypothetically, if you were on the interstate and you're going over 100 miles an hour, you'd still be pulling the V8, whereas the 6-cylinder would be kind of, you know, starting to pull off a little bit. And so, like, I think that if you're gonna spend, you know, about $120,000 that the 6-cylinder loaded up costs, I would just spend the extra $20 or something thousand that this V8 costs and just get the V8. That's me. That's just me. Because I feel like if you're already spending over $100,000, like, I know $20,000 is a lot of money, but like at the same time, you're already spending over $100,000. You might as well spend a little bit more and get the powertrain that's so fun. But let me know what you guys think about the S-Class. Let me know what you think about the spec on this S-Class. Definitely a unique spec, that's for sure, but still beautiful. That's gonna sum things up with our video on this S580. Again, a huge shout out and thank you to the Mercedes-Benz of Farmington for giving me some time with this S580. Check out the inventory in the description down below. Ask for Sam if you have any questions. I'll see ya.